The arena roared like a storm as Oleksandr Usyk and Murat Gassiev stepped into the ring, their faces carved with determination. This was more than a unification bout. It was a clash of two undefeated warriors carrying the pride of their nations. Usyk, calm yet electric with confidence, bounced on his toes while Gassiev stood still, shoulders loaded with raw power. The bell rang, and instantly the tension shifted from the crowd to the canvas. As if the entire world held its breath for what was about to unfold, Usyk opened the fight with a display of dazzling footwork, circling Gassiev like a phantom. His jabs snapped forward with sniper-like precision, controlling the distance and forcing Gassiev to chase shadows. But Gassiev's presence was menacing. Every time he edged forward, the audience braced, knowing that one clean right hand from him could erase any strategy. The contrast of speed versus power set the stage for a battle that felt unpredictable from the very first minute. As the rounds progressed, Usyk's rhythm intensified. He darted in and out with combinations that landed so cleanly they echoed through the arena. Still, Gassiev continued stalking, loading bombs in both hands. Midway through the fight, he finally exploded with a blistering counter right that thundered off Usyk's guard. The crowd erupted, sensing that Gassiev was one punch away from altering the entire momentum. But Usyk refused to break, answering with a flurry that stunned the Russian champion. By round 7, the energy inside the venue had transformed into chaos. Usyk's relentless pace was wearing Gassiev down. But the danger never disappeared. Multiple times, Gassiev unleashed monstrous hooks that just grazed Usyk, close enough to make the audience scream. In those moments, it felt like the fight could tilt instantly, as if each swing carried the force of a knockout waiting to happen. Usyk began painting the ring with his movement, turning his offense into art. His punches flowed in combinations of 3s, 4s, sometimes 6 in a row, each one thrown with surgical intent. Yet Gassiev refused to surrender. He absorbed the punishment, tightened his guard, and kept marching forward, like a tank determined to land that fight-changing blow. The contrast between their styles created constant suspense, speed dancing with danger, technique colliding with pure power. Heading into the championship rounds, Usyk's dominance grew undeniable. His stamina was unreal. While most fighters fade, he seemed to get sharper, faster, more unpredictable. Gassiev swung with desperation, attempting to detonate one final missile, but Usyk's defense was impenetrable. The Ukrainian champion began unleashing masterful combinations that forced Gassiev onto the back foot, something the world rarely witnessed. As the final bell rang, the crowd rose in absolute awe, their cheers shaking the entire arena. Both fighters stood in the center of the ring, chests heaving, sweat dripping like the final remnants of a storm. The fight had been more than a contest. It was a masterpiece, a brutal chess match wrapped inside a war, where every move felt like a test of will and every punch carried the weight of destiny. Usyk lifted his gloves high, fully aware that he had just delivered one of the greatest performances in cruiserweight history, a performance that would be studied and admired for years to come. Gassiev, battered yet unbroken, stared back with the silent respect of a warrior who had given everything he had. In that moment, the ring felt sacred. Two champions, two nations, one unforgettable battle. And as the decision was announced, crowning Usyk the undisputed king, the world witnessed not just a victory, but the rise of a legend whose brilliance, discipline, and unshakable heart had conquered even the most devastating power.